Flash flooding again a possibility into much of the bluegrass state. We'll put a track on what's showing up on Live First Alert Defender in just a moment.
A mother died when police say her truck ran off the road and hit a fence and a tree in Scott County. What investigators think may have caused that crash.
It's an expensive loss for a Central Kentucky farmer. He says thieves stole some of his cattle.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Here we go again. We're tracking the threat for flash flooding across much of Kentucky. More storms packed with heavy rain and strong winds are moving through the bluegrass.
And those winds strong enough to knock down some trees. We've had a number of trees in Lexington go down. For example, this tree fell across Ironworks Pike near Russell Cave Road. Also seen pictures of numerous trees in the Masterson Station neighborhood that are down. KU's reporting about 300 customers on the north side of town do not have power. We've declared a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, and we begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He shows us what he's tracking right now. Chris?
Yeah, what we're left with, guys, behind that initial line of some damaging wind producing thunderstorms, just a whole lot of moderate rainfall right now in Lexington. But that line rotating in a little earlier today, looking rather ominous. Our WKYT weather watcher Shelby Justice in Lexington picking up on that thunderstorm over around the Clays Mill area on top of Man o' War. And that was that thunderstorm that was causing the wind damage blowing in to the Lexington area. That is now off to our northeast, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is issued with that. Ironically, we haven't had a warning with that at any point from the Lexington area east, and now we get that warning for it into parts of Lewis County and Kentucky. Even though with all the wind damage reports we've been receiving from that, no warnings have been hoisted with that. You've got it heading toward Vanceburg as of now. Thunder and lightning on top of the Moorhead area. That extends a little farther to the west into sections of Montgomery County. Lexington area, some locally heavy rains continuing to come down, just kind of setting the stage or filling the gap between thunderstorm complexes. The next one gearing up to our southwest from just to the west of Franklin County, Shelby County, through Bloomfield there in Nelson County on top of E-Town. Thunder, lightning increasing with those storms and increasing with the storms that are back toward the southwest. Everything that is to the southwest of us is going to come rolling on in to central and eastern Kentucky. That includes this line of thunderstorms developing into parts of southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. The train tracks are down. Whatever develops out to our southwest, guys, comes rolling on into central and eastern Kentucky as we go through the evening and right on through tomorrow, coming at us in waves. Many areas likely to pick up enough rain to cause additional flash flooding issues. And of course, we'll be here to track the storms and the flood threat with you through the entire way.
Chris, thank you. And I just mentioned that we do have storm damage in the Masterson Station neighborhood in Lexington. These pictures were just sent in to us in the last 30 minutes or so. You can see large limbs and branches are down in front of several homes. We're told that the damage is on several different streets. Again, this is Masterson Station in that neighborhood. So far, we have not heard of any damage to homes in that area. We're always tracking storms on WKYT.com, and you can do that as well. Use an interactive radar to zoom all the way into your neighborhood. Download the WKYT News and Radar apps to keep up with the weather when you're on the go. And share your pictures and video like you just saw there. Email them to us at eyewitness@WKYT.com or use the hashtag KYWeather. Tonight, we're learning more about a car crash in Scott County that took the life of a mother. Investigators say that her 2 children were with her, but they survived.
That crash happened around 11:30 this morning on Long Lick Pike near Stamping Ground. Investigators say they have an idea of what may have caused the crash. Garrett Weimer has the latest in our top story at 6.
Long Lick Pike here is relatively narrow, and there's not much of a shoulder in most spots. In fact, it's not far from here, the spot where Coroner John Goebel says 46-year-old Michelle Louise Rojas died. Goebel says he believes alcohol and speed were factors in the crash. We're told Rojas had 2 kids with her when her truck went off the road. Goebel says the kids, both under the age of 10, were in car seats and thankfully weren't hurt. The 2 kids were taken to the hospital as a precaution where they were treated and released. All this happened around 11:30 in the morning, about 6 miles from US 25 on a rural road with no shoulder to speak of, leaving little margin for error after deputies say the driver lost control.
She ran off the right shoulder, ran through a plank fence, came to rest hitting a tree.
Coroner Goebel says he does not know where Rojas was going with the kids at the time of the crash, but again, he does say he believes alcohol and speed were part of what caused it. In Scott County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Goebel says Tucker, Yoakum, and Wilson Funeral Home will handle the funeral arrangements. A moped driver is at UK Hospital right now with serious injuries after a crash late this afternoon. It happened around 4 on North Broadway near Loudon Avenue. Witnesses said the driver lost control and wiped out. We're told he was not wearing a helmet and was rushed to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police have just cleared the accident scene in the last half hour.
Some frightening moments at the Bell County Jail. Investigators say 2 inmates attacked a couple of corrections officers and tried to escape. But they say a 3rd jail employee kept the inmates from getting out of the building. Victor Puente talked to the Bell County jailer. He's tracking the investigation tonight.
Both of those officers had to be taken to the hospital after this attack. The jailer credits a 3rd officer with making sure those inmates didn't escape. Christopher Dixon and Kenneth Williams were sharing a cell Monday night when a jail employee went to open their door to move one of them within the building. Jailer Gary Ferguson says the 2 men rushed forward, attacking Sergeant John Parton and Officer Valerie Brock.
Struck with broom handles across the forearms, across the hands. Pepper spray was involved in this.
This is an image from the surveillance video of the attack. Ferguson says it shows Dixon holding a broken broom handle he had hidden in his cell. He said Dixon used a jail radio to contact another employee, Amy Webb, who was in the control room. She told police he threatened to kill one of her coworkers if she didn't let them leave the building.
That was very important to withstand what she was seeing and still keep her composure.
Webb refused and instead called dispatchers, who sent state and local police.
She had definitely done what she should have done by keeping them confined within the walls of the jail.
The Bell County Sheriff's Office is investigating the escape attempt. Both men have been charged with first-degree escape, promoting contraband, third-degree assault of a correction employee, and unlawful imprisonment.
I attribute the fast thinking of the 3 officers that was involved, and especially the person that was in the control room.
Kenneth Williams was being held on robbery and possession of a forged instrument charges. Christopher Dixon was jailed on multiple charges, including attempted murder and assault on a corrections employee. In Bell County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The jailer says the jail was down to a few officers during the attack because just before the attack, they had to transport an inmate to the hospital who had been cut.
New tonight, a Lincoln County mother accused of trying to kill her infant son has agreed to a plea deal. Police charged Tammy Wolfenbarger with attempted murder. Her trial was supposed to begin tomorrow, but Lincoln County court workers tell us the trial has been canceled because Wolfenbarger will enter a new plea Friday morning. Terms of the plea deal haven't been released. In 2013, police say Wolfenbarger used a pillow to try and suffocate her 2-month-old son. Police say the baby wasn't seriously injured.
New tonight, the family of a missing Nelson County woman has increased the reward being offered in that case. The reward now stands at $40,000 after a $15,000 increase today. Crystal Rogers has not been seen since Friday. Her family says they found her car abandoned and with a flat tire along the Bluegrass Parkway near Bardstown. They say her purse and cell phone were still inside the car. Police are investigating. Tonight, Georgetown Community Hospital says that all of its external phone lines are out of service. The hospital blames an area-wide Windstream phone outage for the problem. In the meantime, if you have an emergency, the hospital asks that you call this number, 502-370-1640.
Members of a Laurel County church call it a painful sight. They say vandals damaged their building. The sign of Mount Carmel Christian Church had spray paint all over it, and church members think the vandals may have tried to set the building on fire. Sam Smith is tracking the investigation.
As you can tell behind me, this church was built in 1893, which means this church has been a part of a lot of lives, which means for the members here, this vandalism hurts that much more.
There's 5 generations of my family that goes to church here. You know, they're not all going now, but over the years, they've been 5 generations.
It's upsetting for church members like Jerry Lewis to see his church's windows and entrance sign tagged with spray paint, and to see burn marks on the backside of the church, presumably from a torch. in a failed attempt to set the church on fire.
It bothers me to think that we've got anybody in this world that wants to destroy somebody's place of worship.
The sheriff's office will have added patrols in this area as a response to this act of vandalism. Deputies say they have leads, but they're still accepting tips from the public in this case.
They just got nothing to do and just want to get out and do things that's mean. It's the only thing I can figure. Maybe if they come to church a while, they wouldn't want to do that.
Now, as for repairs, folks with the church are waiting for the insurance process to play out before they could remove the burnt siding and the spray paint from the building. In Laurel County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Deputies say those responsible will face felony criminal mischief charges.
Deputies in Garrett County are investigating a case of cattle rustling. The owner of 4 cattle found them missing this weekend. He's offering a reward for their return and trying to warn other farmers in the area that thieves are nearby. Kristen Kennedy has the story new at 6.
Rob Dean runs a feed shop in Garrett County.
We deliver feed to 80 of the 120 counties in the state.
He knows how expensive raising and keeping cattle can be. He's spent about $4 grand so far, raising 4 this year on his farm. Those 4, he says, someone stole this past weekend.
It's a big loss to me just losing 4 head. I couldn't imagine losing, 20 or 30 or 100. Of course, every farmer, feeds their cattle first thing every morning normally. And at 7 o'clock, I noticed them missing.
Dean tells us this gate was locked and that he and his wife didn't see any tire tracks or footprints.
And everyone who stole them actually knew what they were doing and had dealt with cattle before. You could pretty much tell they knew what they were doing when they got them.
The theft is the second he's heard about. Dean says a customer of his lost cattle to thieves in the early spring.
And I pretty much done wrote them off as a loss, but if I can keep one farmer from losing cattle, just be alert, that's all I can do.
The Garrett County Sheriff says his deputies work closely with stockyards to try and track down thieves, and they're usually successful. In Garrett County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And Dean says he and his wife are planning on putting surveillance cameras on their property to prevent any future thefts. A well-known building on the University of Kentucky campus is now being torn down.
UK leaders say demolition of the Student Center began this week. For now, offices in that building have been moved to a temporary location beside the Singletary Center. Once demolition ends, UK will build a new, larger student center on the same site. Construction is expected to take more than 2 years, with an opening planned for January of 2018.
A Lexington-based Italian restaurant chain has a new owner tonight. Reports say Fazoli's Group has been bought by Sentinel Capital Partners. Terms of the deal have not been released. Fazoli's opened in Lexington in 1988 and now has 213 locations in 26 states. Sentinel Capital's other restaurant investments include Nuke's Eatery, TGI Fridays, and Huddle House.